Imagine a city where crime is the norm, where corruption runs deep and the line between good and evil blurs with every passing day. This is Gotham, in a world where power often corrupts, where even heroes can fall into darkness. Batman stands as a beacon of virtue. But how? How does a man surrounded by chaos, violence, and temptation stay true to a moral code that refuses to break? Today, we're diving into the unshakable principles that guide the Dark Knight through Gotham's shadows, and how he practices virtue in a world where it's so easy to lose your way. Batman isn't just fighting criminals, he's fighting the very corruption that infects Gotham from its core. But what truly sets Batman apart isn't his combat skills or high-tech gadgets. It's his unwavering moral code. In a city where survival often means bending the rules, Batman refuses to cross the line. His commitment to virtue is his greatest weapon, and it's what makes him more than just a vigilante. It makes him a symbol of hope. One of the most striking aspects of Batman's moral code is his absolute refusal to kill. Even when faced with the most dangerous villains, people like the Joker who take lives without a second thought, Batman holds the line. It's easy to say that taking a life would make Gotham safer, but Batman knows that once he crosses that line, he's no better than the criminals he's sworn to stop. His virtue is his shield, protecting him from becoming the very thing he fights against. But Batman's moral code goes beyond just avoiding killing. He practices restraint and justice in a world where revenge could easily take over. Consider how often Batman is wronged, his family taken from him, his city constantly under threat, his loved ones used as pawns. And yet, Batman never lets hatred dictate his actions. While others seek vengeance, Batman seeks justice. He believes in the law, even when it's flawed, because he understands that acting out of rage would make him just another villain in Gotham's story. At the heart of Batman's moral code is a deep sense of responsibility. Bruce Wayne could easily live a life of luxury, ignoring the crime and corruption around him. But Batman knows that with his abilities, he has an obligation to protect those who can't protect themselves. This sense of duty drives him every night as he patrols the streets, knowing that if he doesn't act, no one else will. Batman doesn't fight for fame, for power, or even for personal satisfaction. He fights because it's the right thing to do. Virtue, for him, isn't a choice. It's a necessity. What's fascinating about Batman is that he operates in the gray areas of morality. Gotham's corruption runs so deep that sometimes the lines between good and evil aren't clear. Even the city's officials, the people meant to uphold justice, are often on the payroll of the very criminals Batman is chasing. Yet, despite all this, Batman doesn't compromise. He stays true to his code, knowing that in a corrupt world, practicing virtue is the hardest yet most important thing to do. Then there are Batman's enemies, the Joker, Two-Face, Penguin, all of them testing his moral boundaries. The Joker, in particular, tries to push Batman to his breaking point, tempting him to abandon his values. But time and again, Batman proves that he won't break. He knows that once he compromises his virtue, he loses the essence of who he is. It's his moral code that defines him, not his strength or his gadgets. A key aspect of Batman's virtue is his belief in redemption. He never gives up on Gotham, no matter how corrupt it becomes. He believes that people can change, that the city can be saved. Batman's moral code isn't just about punishing the guilty. It's about giving people a second chance. He sees the good even in the most broken individuals and fights not just to stop them, but to help them see the light. In many ways, Batman's battle is less about defeating his enemies and more about keeping his own soul intact. Gotham will always be dark, but Batman refuses to let that darkness consume him. His virtue is his guiding light, the compass that keeps him on the right path when everything around him tempts him to stray. So, what can we learn from Batman's moral code? In a world where it's so easy to compromise, to take shortcuts, to give in to temptation, Batman shows us that true strength lies in staying true to your principles. It's about practicing virtue not just when it's convenient, but when it's hardest. Because in the end, it's our values that define who we are. The next time you face a tough choice, remember Batman's example. Don't let the world around you dictate your actions. Stay true to your moral compass, no matter how challenging it may be. Because like Batman, you have the power to bring light to even the darkest of places.